Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome to the Teach Better Today morning show where the Teach Better team gets to join you live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Monday. It's Teacher Appreciation Week. Katie's wearing black and I'm wearing blue, and we just need to get the party going. We'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. I don't want to start today with any negativity, but I'm jealous that Katie's in a black shirt because I was in a black shirt before we clicked the big red button, and then I changed because I just looked like a floating head with my new background.
Hi, happy Monday, Teach Better family.
I'm not in the mood. I want to be happy, but I'm really,
But you're bright and cheerful for Teacher Appreciation Week.
Bright and cheerful.
Yeah, maybe your mood should match your shirt, Ray.
My shirt is very bright and cheerful. Very bright and cheerful. Yes.
I think it's great. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Hopefully your day is better than Ray's.
I'm going to get in the right mood. We are doing a lot of stuff for Teacher Appreciation Week, so I'm trying to get excited, but this is just the wrong way to start the day. Got to start over. We should just redo this whole thing. We should just start fresh.
No, we're not going to. No. Yeah, happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Ray, can I tell you that, okay, maybe this isn't something I should say, but this is the one of the weeks of the year that I'm truly jealous that we're not still in the classroom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially because, at least for the Teach Better team and for other organizations I talk to especially, there's a lot of educators that are in organizations now that are finding the best ways to celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week because it's what they would have wanted. And I feel like the Teach Better team is doing something similar to that, where we're constantly what would we have wanted in the classroom? How can we make that happen for our community?
Yeah. So hopefully if you are in the classroom, you are feeling super appreciated this week and you've got some things lined up. I would, if nothing else, if you're like, I am so busy, Katie, I don't have time to do any of this, or my school does nothing, or whatever your excuse is, get online right now and Google Teacher Appreciation Deals, because there are tons of websites out there that tell you where you can get free food, free coffee, discounted whatever. If nothing else, go spoil yourself by driving around town and getting free stuff. I will never forget, there was a year, I couldn't even tell you when it was, but there was a year that every day there was a different deal at a different restaurant, and then some were overlapped. And so who works for the Teach Better team now, but Sarah, Jesse, and I set the goal of we were going to hit everything every day. So literally there were days where my breakfast, lunch, and dinner were from different places and all at a discount. And it was so fun. It was a scavenger hunt of deals. So maybe you do that. Maybe you just get a free coffee this week, but do something for yourself.
I love that approach. I love making it a game, make it a scavenger hunt. There's that many options. So let's make it a fun opportunity. Don't be something that you're I don't have the time to figure it out. It's a quick Google search. We'll even be posting as many as we find that we can for all of you to go and enjoy. So yeah, this is a week to definitely celebrate. Definitely also a week to make sure that you are on the Teach Better email list. If you're not on that, just go to the homepage and scroll down a little bit. There's a way to sign up for it. And you want to make sure you're following the Teach Better team on social media. So
any spoilers, Ray, that you want to give us? Any little previews?
Ooh, no, I don't think I can. Everything for this week is to keep your eye out. Little surprises everywhere. So enjoy the fun. We're doing this. I know you're not a big Taylor Swift fan, but we're doing this a little Taylor Swift vibes where you need to hunt a little bit and you're going to be happy. That's why I want to make sure you're following the right places, connected to the right places. Enjoy the fun. Enjoy the fun.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you feel like you are, sorry, I'm just getting so emotional about this. If you are someone that maybe you are just having a rough week and need a little extra appreciation, please let us know and drop us a message. We would love to spoil you, tell you how much you're appreciated, because sometimes we get lost in our thoughts and maybe we don't have the community that we hear other people do. We see PTOs posting things, or it's really easy to live in the, someone else has it way cooler and better. So if you are feeling kind of like not so appreciated this week, we obviously want to know about that, because we would love to show you how much you're appreciated, because we want to appreciate all of our educators. We know this job is not easy, and it's that time of year, especially. That's why I love that it's the end of the year. It's in the May season, because it's just a moment to pause and go, I just made it all these months, and look at all the lives I've changed and all the things I've done. So make sure that you let us know if you need, just an extra little boost this week.
Yeah. Anytime. Let us know if you need a boost anytime. It's so good. I'm
Yep.
also very excited for those of you who have principals or leadership teams that bought bulk of Teach Better books, whether it be Brian Fennell's children's book, Aspire to Lead with Joshua Stamper, or a Teach Better book like Teachers Deserve It or Teach Better. A lot of us will be popping in to surprise certain schools with fun author discussions. And let us know if any of that is happening in your community, or if you want that to happen. We still have some time slots open, not only this week, but for the rest of the year, that we can kind of continue to celebrate educators and have those more intimate conversations on different things. So really, really fun. Katie, are you excited for it to be Monday? And are you excited for something going on this week? Is there anything this week that you can look forward to, even though you don't get to benefit from Teacher Appreciation Week?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what we've got going on this week.
I have
Honestly,
something for you that you should be excited about.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say like planting flowers, but that seems really lame now. So
I mean, flowers is good. It's finally nice weather.
right. That's why I was like, I guess that it's that time like this week, but what should I be excited about? Ray?
Well, wait, now I have a follow-up question. When do you do, there's like a Katie Miglin garden that creates the best vegetables on the planet. I only shop your produce when I can. When is that being, okay, I really just want to know the tomatoes and the cucumbers. When is that happening?
They will go in this week.
Really? This is like go time.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. As anyone in the Midwest knows, the weather can be questionable, but typically if you talk to like a gardener person, or anyone who puts in plants, they would suggest like Mother's Day. I typically try to get it done before Mother's Day weekend, because it's just so crowded at the like flower shops. So if the weather can cooperate, that's when I will be putting it in.
And then when do I get my cucumbers and tomatoes?
Ooh, see, that's the thing. You got to wait a while. Probably not. So when did I get them to you last year? Like July? I feel like probably July.
Oh my God, they're the best. Like, I didn't know I liked cucumbers as much as I do until Katie Miglin gave me an entire bag of cucumbers a few years ago.
I did. I was like, get these out of my garden. There's so many.
God, so good. Yeah, the other thing I was going to mention is Mother's Day. This weekend is Mother's Day for those of you who will also be celebrating that, or have a loved one you'll be celebrating with. Katie, you should be excited. You're a mom of 3 now. This is your first Mother's Day with your whole complete family the way it is now.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, I don't even know what we have going on. At this point, I feel like we're living a little day to day. So
I bet the baby has bought you a really nice Mother's Day gift.
You know what? That would be amazing. If Hazel could just not spit up on me, like for even like if I just went through like 2 shirts. Last Sunday, I went through 5 outfits. 5 outfits, you guys. And that's like not a big deal, but it's a lot of laundry. And so if we could just ruin it back in.
Okay, I don't have children, so I don't know this, like, especially babies, but I thought the baby was supposed to spit up and go through a lot of outfits. Why are you going through a lot of, are you supposed to have like a cloth or something?
Yeah, but here's the thing: when they get older, they move their head a lot, and her new favorite pastime is spitting up wherever the cloth is not. So it's like a game to her. So she's like, oh, it's not over here, let me spit up down the side of you. Oh, it's not right here, let me spit up.
So she's a genius, is what you're saying.
I think that's what that means. It doesn't really feel genius-y, but
it does. It feels
genius. So
she's gifted. That's what that is.
That must be. So yeah, that's my goal for Mother's Day, is to stay in the same shirt, same 2 shirts. Like I'm really setting the bar low. 2 outfit changes. Check back with me and let me know. I'll let you know how that went.
Are you possibly getting together with your mother, or are you just celebrating with your family?
I don't know yet. We have kind of some things that prevent us from traveling. My mom lives, a couple hours away. So we are not sure we're going to make it happen this weekend, or we're looking at potential future dates to celebrate. But what about you? You're somewhat close to your mom. Like,
I am, and I think I'm like knocking on wood. I think we're actually taking a road trip, and we are going
ooh,
to go see my sister and celebrate Mother's Day in Columbus. So it's like
that's
official, but it's still Monday, so it could change.
right.
But I
Ooh,
think we're going
fun.
on Friday and going to spend the weekend over there.
That will be so fun.
Yes, we have not spent Mother's Day all together, I don't know, like 10 years. Like, it's not a
Yeah.
thing that we do. Um,
Right.
and we are totally stealing your idea. We're gonna do the permanent jewelry thing.
Ooh, yay.
So
That'd be
it'll be
fun.
super fun. So if
Yeah.
you want to escape your family and bring your mom, you can come to Columbus with
Oh
us.
my gosh, my mom would love that.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's good to mention now, friends. Mother's Day is in a week, right? It's like less than a
Mhm.
week.
Yeah.
So obviously, Teacher Appreciation Week is going to take up all of the energy that we have. But make sure that you celebrate your loved ones. And for me personally, most of my friends are moms, and it's fun to be able to like celebrate them too. So Katie, just like plug your ears. Don't tell anybody else. But I love celebrating the mamas in my life. They're doing good things. We
Yes.
also have a listener question. Should we jump into that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll be right back. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with us here on the Teach Better Today morning show. We have a listener question, which is really interesting. Katie, I didn't prep you for this, but this is from an educator that works with our team, the Teach Better team, but her school is virtual. So this is a charter school that's virtual. I love working with this school, but just remember that this teacher doesn't physically see her students
Okay.
very often. Okay. Here's a listener question. They're in a middle school. I find it challenging to engage my students during virtual lessons, despite my efforts to make lessons interactive and interesting. Some students seem disengaged and distracted. How can I enhance student engagement and participation in my online math class? So, super big shout out to Michigan Virtual Charter School that we work with. We've been working with them for the last few years, and they are doing incredible things with their clientele. Excited to support their work, but I know that there can be some challenges when trying to engage any student in a lesson. And then we'll add this caveat of also they specifically are experiencing a virtual setting.
Yeah. So this is like brings me back to COVID days, honestly, when we all got pushed home. So just like some, ideas that come to mind are so big things that we always hear are like students don't want to turn on their cameras, they don't want to unmute, we don't know if they're actually paying attention, right? Those are like the three things I feel like we hear pretty often when it comes to that virtual setting. So my response is always make them care about becoming invested. And so whether we, play the games or do some of those fun intro things, that is totally, we can go down that and discuss those different ideas. But I think of like, especially like in a math classroom or any classroom where you can have them show something. I would always, my intro, like slide, the thing that students would see when they logged on, it would always say, you need paper or a whiteboard, or if I could get supplies to them, sometimes I would send home like a laminated piece of paper, anything that they could use to hold up. And I would ask like questions, and I would say like, put your answer here, or, solve the problem or whatever it was. And I would say, okay, on the count of three, everyone's going to turn their cameras on and hold their answer up. We don't even need to see your face. We just need to see the answer. And I would count down and everyone would hold it up. And I would then say the names as I approved them or whatever. So it was like, Ray, you're good. You can take yours down. Rachel, I need you to double check your work and, put it back up. Bob, try again, or, it was just like quick feedback. And some kids, that was just enough. They were fine with doing that short little thing. Other kids, they would tend to leave their camera on because it was easier than turning it on and off, on and off. So we did that. We did a lot of waterfall, which I know was a thing we kind of heard of during COVID, but, put your answer in the chat, but don't press enter until I say go. And then I would say go, and all the kids would do it. The benefit of both of those things is students don't back out because they see someone else participate, which sometimes happens. If you have a student immediately unmuting or immediately answering things in the chat, it immediately takes away an opportunity for another student to answer. By telling them all to be ready at the count of 3, they're all putting something in there, and then they're all going to see each other's answers at the same time. It kind of takes some of that pressure off. So those are 2 big things I did. I also would do a lot of like thumbs up, thumbs down, which was so funny because, you'd see like a ceiling and a thumb. And so it was like clear the kid did not want their face. I also would like give them options, and they had to hold up the number of fingers. It was like, out of these 5, tell me which one applies to this, or, anything you can do that kind of forces them to turn the camera on and get engaged, but is also low stakes, right? What do you think?
I really like what you shared because I think it can easily be related to the classroom. Something that you noted, and I'm going to butcher it because I was like really interested in what you were saying. But you said early on in your description, the problems being students don't want to unmute, students don't want to turn their cameras on. When those things come up, we can see that in the classroom as well. Yep. Students don't want to participate. Students don't want to share their voice. How do you know they're learning? How do you know that they're paying attention? And the reality is that them having their camera on doesn't necessarily mean they're paying attention either. Mm-hmm. So trying to find almost a way to define how you are going to gauge if a student is engaged and paying attention, to me, is going to be something that's really going to relieve some stress. And you can do this in your classroom, regardless of if they're sitting in front of you or not. Does a student need to have their eyes on you during a mini lesson to believe that they're listening? For some teachers, it would be absolutely, they need to be looking at me, and that is how I gauge that they are engaged in what I'm sharing. Or other teachers, it's no, they can listen while writing notes. They don't have to have their eyes on me, but seeing them physically do something while I'm speaking is how I'm going to think through them being engaged. Or doing exit slips. They can sit however they want in class, but if they can't answer my exit slip question, then I don't believe that they're engaged. So I'm not saying one way is right. I definitely had my preferences as a teacher, but regardless of the type of educator you are, having those definitions in your mind of what it looks like, what you as the educator can physically see, hear, or have modeled to believe that students are in a good learning space environment, I think is going to be the first step to being successful in this.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would say, like, maybe it's time to reflect too on like, what are your non-negotiables and what are you willing to get rid of? That was a hard thing for me to acknowledge, of like, I would doodle in staff meetings, or I would watch my coworkers doodle, or, kind of do what would look on the surface like multitasking or disengaged, but then they were engaged. So then I started to realize, well, maybe students are more engaged in stuff if I let them doodle, or if I, give them an opportunity to plug in, and interact with me, but they can kind of be zoning out, just looking at me, unless I'm showing them something they need to see, obviously, but looking at me doesn't always mean that they're paying attention, to your point. So kind of reevaluate, like, what are some things that maybe are triggers for you, as they're going to really frustrate you, or are things that you're like, I feel respected when you do these things. But the list can't be super long. It's got to be condensed, and you've got to be clear to students so that they know the expectations. But if you can, decide, I don't need a kid to look up here the whole time, they can be doodling on their paper, then maybe you let that piece go.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest frustrations is being on the computer when I want their attention on the board. Yeah. Because as an educator, when I'm doing that, I'm checking email, I'm looking at social media. I like, as a kid, they're playing games. And so even when I do staff professional development, you can do whatever you want, but before I start speaking, I'm going to ask for you to close your laptop at a 45-degree angle. You might, honestly, for me, you could be on your phone, you could be taking notes, you could be doodling. Anything is better than that laptop. For whatever reason, that laptop's my trigger, versus I feel like scrolling on your phone it doesn't bother me nearly as much. So that's my non-negotiable. And then the first thing I start out with is making sure that that is not even an acceptable option for the people that I'm with. I don't even share that with them. I just have a direction that I start with. And if they abide by it, then I give them the grace of assuming that they're making good choices moving forward. But yeah, there's lots of stuff there. I will say, Katie, the other thing I've been working on specifically with this group is not having lecture be the focus of getting content. This community that I'm working with, it has teachers that are used to having online classes where students log in to gain the information. And I really think that that becomes a dangerous environment. The students should be logging on to gain feedback from what they've been working on. So it's not so much about log in because I'm the smart one sharing the information with you, but regardless if you're logged in, there's other ways to gain the information. And I would rather use my time with students to give feedback, do those formative checks, celebrate their successes, engage in collaboration opportunities, and then move on elsewhere. So we've been working a lot in that group specifically with almost reformatting the classroom environment to be a little bit more mastery focused so that when the teachers want the cameras on, it's actually asking the students to be doing something other than listening, which is really helpful.
And look for opportunities to build relationships. Maybe they log in and they have to doodle a picture of how their weekend was, and that's what they hold up. Any little ways, because those are the things you're going to miss with being a virtual classroom, is you're going to miss the interactions as students get settled in their seats, or they transition, to a different class, or, just that downtime in your classroom. You won't have those little moments of those little conversations, and they won't be able to do that with each other as well. So look for opportunities that you can build that sense of community, even in a virtual space.
It's funny, even you just sharing doodle a quick picture of your weekend, that would work great in a normal, in a classroom too. Because how often are we let's talk about our weekend. We only get 2 people that can share, or it takes 25 minutes of our class hour and we don't have time for that. So doodle a picture, hold it up. Let me see it as a teacher. Maybe it's just a turn and talk. Hey, Katie, this is what I did. So,
absolutely.
Lots of fun ideas. Thank you for the listener questions. It is Teacher Appreciation Week, and we hope you feel extremely celebrated this week. Please let us know if you need anything, and we'll see you next time on Teach Better Today. Bye, guys. Hey, Teach Better community. Thank you so much for joining the Teach Better Today morning show every single weekday at 7 a.m. Eastern. We have so many resources for you outside of this live stream at teachbetter.com, including blogs, podcasts, and professional development that will bring our team to your school. Wherever you are listening from this morning, please make sure you are sharing and celebrating the incredible educators in this world. And hey, if you are listening over on a podcast to Teach Better Talk, we would love a 5-star review. The comments are always so entertaining. We'll see you tomorrow.